Yo, what's popping with y'all, man? I'm kind of curious to what the talk on the street is. I'm hearing, I don't know, I'm hearing kind of mixed things when it comes to um everything that's dealing with this new Akai update that also includes a um native instrument. It says, is there a new MPC out, or is it what is it? So I'm gonna there's a specific video I wanted to watch. I can't find it anymore, so I'm just gonna watch Broski's video, kind of get my and just make my own mind option and just you know decide for myself if this is something that interests me or not. Because I mean, I'm a fan of MPC. I don't have one right now. I'm a big, huge DAW person because it's not every time you want to carry your stuff with you. So DAW is always going to be, in my opinion, DAW is always going to be number one. I don't care what anybody has to say. It's just that's just my opinion. Now, there's no better option. It's some people prefer to make beats on the physical hardware. Some people prefer to make it on the. It's just, let's stop attacking each other. Do use what makes sense for you and do what makes you happy. That's all that matters, man. Like I don't understand this whole competition. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. It's a choice. Today I might want to use the MPC. Tomorrow I might want to just chill like this and just click buttons. You feel me? So, but let me hear what's going on. I hope it's positive because I'm a fan of all of this. What?
Nigga, this crazy. So I just got off the phone with
He
AKAI
said, "Nigga, that's
Professional,
crazy."
and they ruined the surprise for me, but embargoes, NDAs, you already know what it is. AKAI Professional is collaborating with longtime competitor, Native Instruments.
That's crazy. That's how you know they're not. If that's how you know they're kind of not making money together. They're not making that much money anymore. In order for two companies that have been rivaling for years, not like hatefully rivaling, just doing their own thing, trying to bring out the best in what they do in their own space, when they have to come together to do something, bruh, I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, it's not bad for the consumers, right? Business wise, I don't know, man.
Hell
That's strange. Let's see.
has officially frozen over. And man, this
That's a big deal.
weather is reflecting it. God damn. So we're going to talk about what is new in 3.0, but first I'd like to just talk about what's
Okay.
new in terms of the collaboration with AKAI and Native Instruments, which I think is huge. So in 3.0 or whatnot, you would just hit new track, add a plugin, and the activation of the plugins work just like the MPC plugins. It's just in case you want to know. You would go ahead and pull up a plugin.
But that's a big deal in a way though, because like now you really don't even need to like you don't really like there's the beauty of the MPC in my opinion and why I like it so much. The ability to like you could just dive in and focus on the creative aspects without having to you know what I'm saying? It makes sense, man.
On your MPC of choice, and then we're just gonna go and check out Analog Dreams. And once I pull up Analog Dreams, you'll see how everything works. You'll just hit this tab over here, and it will pull up Analog Dreams.
Wow, yo, that's dope. That's oh wow. Now I see the big poof. It just hit me because I haven't made beats in a I can't even lie. I haven't made beats in a long time. I haven't really been in it. I've been living my life, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been traveling, just enjoying life. And now this it just brings me back to the whole contact. Oh my God. What? What? That's hard. That's hard, actually. That's fire. What? Analog. It's because he said analog dreams, and I don't play with analog. So I'm like, wait, analog dreams inside the MPC? I might have to go and now upgrade to the Akai MPC 1000, but that's fire, bro. That's a big deal.
And these chord progressions are on 16levels.com. I have the link in the description box. But if you want to know about the price of this series, it is around $30, I believe, for each individual Play Series MPC edition, and you can get it at nativeinstruments.com. It's crazy, man. I'm still flabbergasted
It's
over that. I gotta
mind
use
blowing.
it
That's actually mind blowing.
like that.
That's actually
You can
mind
pick
blowing.
out different sounds. So this is Analog Dream. This is a classic over here. They have different categories or whatnot. You have bass category, you have leads, you have synths, you have pads, plucks, and I'm gonna go over here and you can see that it's just as simple as navigating. This is all standalone, by the way.
Imagine creating
Yo,
videos.
that's a big deal, bro. You can't even lie about that because this creates a whole new opportunity for them to. Because why not, right? Think about it. Actually, I mean, because at some point in time, especially with native instrument, there's probably hit what more can you possibly keep creating when it comes to your hardware? You might as well just give them access to your sounds. Because if people some people prefer the MPC and some people prefer native instruments. So like but when it comes to the sound, everybody prefers the sound. Everybody wants more sound, rather. Maybe put it that way. So you might as well just give them access and take a percentage. Like it's almost like when people create drum kits and they have other businesses, other producers promote it, and they get a percentage of each. That makes sense. Well, you're losing out on money not doing that. Because imagine how many people have the MPC. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a great idea.
One more sound here. Check it out. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more. Again, or whatnot. I don't know if I should call it a plugin. It is a part of the Play series or whatnot, but it is an MPC plugin altogether. You have a home screen here and you have an edit screen. That's similar to how it would be if you was to use like Contact.
Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll be honest. I like this, but again, you have to keep in mind there is a beauty in being able to open up a DAW and then open up the plugin in the DAW, and you see the beautiful design of it, and you see that you can easily use the mouse and it just depends on how you feeling. I feel like it's good to just have both experiences. If you're able to have both experiences, just have both.
To whatnot, which has me excited or whatever.
Like to say that's like saying you only want one car for the rest of your life. I mean, even if you want to do that, fine. You could be Warren Buffett, no problem, right? But the vast majority of people want options. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be that disciplined. Oh, I'm only going to use the NPC for the rest of my life and nothing else. That's crazy.
And you see that you have different settings or whatnot.
Like, bro, it's not marriage. You don't have to be like that with tech.
On
You
the
feel me?
MPC X SE, or if you're on the MPC X, but the X SE is a little different. It has some perks to it. I have all the Q links here, but if you was on the MPC Live 2 or the 1 and so forth, you would have Q-Link features or whatnot, and they are mapped to the Q-Link so that it works. So if you see my hand over here at the bottom left side of the screen, you see I'm messing with the global pitch right now. Global tune, the polyphony, you can play with legato and portamento and many other things that are on the screen right here via your Q-Links, making it a whole lot easier of a workflow. You have your different layers, similar to like how it would be if you was using Contact or whatever inside of your favorite DAW of choice. You have different layers here that you can control an amp and filter envelopes, LFOs, same thing with like layer B. So, if you're familiar with the Play series, not much has changed here. You have the different effects and stuff like that. And then you have your aftertouch stuff and that you can mess with. And you can see all of the different parameters that you have control over, and you can control them natively with your Q-Links, okay? So the next one we have is Cloud Supply. Cloud Supply has been MPC all the way up. And you can see the UI for what it is, and this is one of the more popular ones by Native Instruments. I have this one too. There are more Play series plugins that will be available in the future, so just keep an eye out on that, and of course we'll cover them on this channel per usual. There are some new additions to MPC 3.0 as you would expect in this final build. For an example, we have new key groups. It's called advanced key groups. So what I'm going to do is go to a new track, and then I'm going to create a key group. Then I will go into browse, and then I will select an expansion that has a key group in it. I've selected the F9 instruments, which is one of my classic favorites over here. I will select one of these. So I like this key group right here. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is load it. I can just load it in a new track. I don't really have to set a new key group. I just want to show you how to set up a key group in 3.0. It will load up, and then we'll get it started. Now that we have a key group, I'm just gonna press the program edit button, which will lead me into track edit. If you don't have a program edit button on your MPC, you would just press menu and then just press track edit, which will allow you to edit your program, as it's now called a track edit. And you'll see at the top over here where it says legacy, you can turn that off, and now you're into the advanced key group. It might not look like much now that I exited out of legacy, but if you look down here at this tab, at the tabs, you can navigate over and you can see different parameters like LFO1, utilities. You can do key, stack, unisons. I believe that's what it's called. Randomize, mod matrix, and so forth. So it's basically a synthesizer now. Like you can do some more synthesis with your key groups. So if I was to turn it back on, you see what is left out of the new key groups. Now you can get into the advanced settings and stuff like that, where you can add, you have dual filters. So you can set up different filters. And yes, even if you were to mess with your drum programs or whatnot, you have new individual filters. They have like an old school MPC filter. It's a whole lot. It's just loaded. You have parallels to serial, things that weren't around. So if I go back out. You don't have access to that anymore. And versus if I was over here, now that I have access to the advanced features. So that's basically about it in a nutshell. There is a little bit more.
Man, there's so much. That's the thing about the MP. There's just so much you could do. And like for me, I just found like there's so many ways you can do something that like you really just have to find your own pattern, your own way. Because the ways you could, there's multiple ways to do one, multiple different things, or the same. There's multiple ways to do the same thing that like the way he's showing it. I've always done it a different way. Granted, it's been a while, so I'm saying like it's all choices, man. That like, when you start to realize how intricate you can get with it, that's why sometimes it's just easier to just pull up the laptop and just go in. It's easier to learn the laptop, right? The clicking and but again, this is not a comparison video. The reason my mind is tainted and I'm talking this way is because there's another video here that I have pulled up and I mistakenly clicked in the middle of it, and this guy was just bashing and saying a bunch of like things in that brief section. And though he was right, he made a lot of serious points that make sense, but so that's why my mind is kind of that's why I'm speaking to. That's why sometimes it's not good to watch other people's opinions first. You just go directly to figure out your own opinion first, and then you can now be, bamboozled by everyone else's ideas.
You can now automate different parameters at once or individually in this new feature. You can do different utilities. Let me just go ahead and show you some of the new features over here. Look, this is crazy, bro. Like there is a whole lot more that you can do with the MPC in 3.0, in which some things that I did ask them for based off of some of my favorite plugins, on your computer or whatnot, and they kind of delivered on that in a big way. Outside of you can't do like separate layer arpeggiation. That's the only thing that wasn't added. But
spend $500 and get.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, they're trying, man. They're trying, but my thing is like my problem with this, like I said, isn't the whole point of a like I back in the day, I don't know, I could be wrong. I feel like the point of having physical things is to when you start to add all these extra details and layers of things, and I'm all for it. It's good to have it. I'd rather have it than not, right? But doesn't it kind of take away from like the beauty of creating again? Because you're having to do so many things that let's keep it a band, bro. If you were on the computer, it'll be so much better and faster. Let's just be honest. So like it's cool to have it, but how many people are actually going that deep to do all this stuff? Like, because you're gonna end up taking your basic work from here and then go back on the DAW anyway and do more on there anyway. So like it's cool to have all these options, like I keep saying, but is it really necessary? Like I was making dope beats without this shit. You feel me?
the hate too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't get it all at
But it's good to have the options. I'm not knocking nobody for not
once. They're
for
figuring it
loving
out
that.
piece by piece. But yeah, you can see you can do different tempo syncs, time scaling. What the heck, man? It's crazy. But what I really like about it is the key group stacks that you can do. You can add unison voices, harmonizers, all kinds of stuff, man. If you are into sound design, boy, does the MPC do that very well now. I mean, it did it well
Yeah, man. But I love this thing, man. Like I said, no matter how many things I have to say about it, whether good or bad, I love this thing, man.
before, but it does it crazy now. And just having things where you can just randomize, because in 3.0, look at how many samples that you can add into a key group. And now that we have disk streaming, the sky's the limit. As long as you understand how disk streaming works, you'll be able to load stuff up and then have a little bit more flexibility without using so much resources within the CPU. Speaking of which, I might as well just
Smart.
go over here into main. I'll just pull up an expansion. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just do a new track, and we're going to go into a drum track because the drum tracks have changed yet again. There are some more things that you can do. Let's go ahead and pull up one of the expansions over here. I'll just pull up, let's go with my broski A-Rap Music, man. Big shout out to you, my brother. And I will just pull this up. I won't add it to a new track. I'll just add it to the existing track right now. Then I'll go to main, go to program, edit. You already know how I'm going to do right here. And I'll just choose layer 1. Of course, you have 8 layers. That's something that was already there within there. One of the things that you will notice is you can have different algorithm settings. And I don't know if it's unique per pad. Let's go ahead and on here, do Pro 10 on, yes, it is unique. So you can do repitch too, similar to like how Serato is. So you can have the sample in itself. So if you was to go up a semitone or whatnot.
Wow, that's dope. That's
Let's see,
fire.
like warp.
That's fire.
All things
Actually,
considered, if it was warp or if this was a loop or something like that. Let's see, we got a loop on this. Well, we don't have a loop on this.
you can switch it
But
up
we do.
based on the. That's dope. So you're using less reach. Now I see what he's
Now
talking
we have
about.
this warp. Let's go ahead and do repitch on this. Wow.
What, you couldn't do that
Yo,
before?
this is my first time playing with this, by the way, so I do apologize.
Hmm.
You know,
I feel
as
like
soon as I heard the news,
there's
I wanted to check it out. So, but
interesting.
yeah, so you have your algorithm changes and repitch, and you can set it individually per pad. A warp, is it warp per pad too? Yes, it is warp per pad too. Of course, that's always been that way. By the way, I don't know
That's
why
what I
these
thought. I was
algorithms are
about
brand
to
new,
say. I
but
thought
yeah, you can
that.
do warping individually per pad. It's always been the case, but now the algorithm is there. You can change it individually, which was never there. Also, one of the things that wasn't working during the beta was like if you was to change the note or whatever, or change the semitone, the key wasn't registering. They fixed that along with the pad accuracy too. So now the pads are working like they used to when you are. So if you're a finger drummer, it is now safe to finger drum in 3.0. That was a struggle. So now you're able to finger drum and everything is accurate. And as you can see, you have individual control. If you go in here, you can mess with different parameters and stuff like that. This is things that I've already talked about in my masterclass. And of course, I'm updating it because now we actually have the full final build. So I can actually talk about it in greater scale without having to worry if there's going to change anything. Of course, they will change stuff and I'll always talk about it. But I'm going to go over here into the envelopes and you see that there are different filter types now. More filter types. Look at this crap. Look at this. So you got different bands. And this is something that I highly requested. So, you know, it's individual clearly. So I'm going to go over here and select MPC, and then I'm going to go ahead and mess with the filter cutoff so we can hear.
That's what I love. As you can see, like the lack of distraction when you have something like this is the beauty of this.
Clap sounds like with the different filters.
You could just stay in the same space and do your thing the whole time. I love that.
Key group design, you have quite the amount of choices that you can mess with. So I'm going to go, let me go back to the filter, and I'm going to mess with that. Now, of course, you can still change the pitch and the envelopes and stuff like that. It's just a better experience. So here's something that I don't really mess with, but I know exists, and that is list mode. But this is meant for like modifiers, so you can have different modifiers per event or whatnot, and this helps with the automation. I'm not really into this, but if you go over here, you can see that you have no modifier settings, so you can do absolute, relative, and if you're into doing stuff like that, well, here it is. It's for you. The only thing that I saw that made me kind of sad, I went into the preferences over here, and then I went through some of the project defaults, and one of the things that I hope will make a return is being able to set up different time signatures. That was one of the things that I did do in the MPC. Not all the time, of course. You know, I worked in 4.4 or whatnot, but I did not see it in here, and I'm just taking a look while I'm talking, so to make sure that I, you know,
Man, y'all just want everything, family. Like, I just want everything, bro. Like, come on.
if I missed it. And I know I don't see it in general, and that's the only thing that is missing so far out of 3.0. And if
If they made this size more portable or have all these other, like, man, like technology, tech done came a long way, man, for in all spectrums of everything.
doing like 6.4 time signatures and stuff like that, or 3.4s, that's unfortunately not here. But one thing I will note, if you haven't noticed, if you go into the arrangement in itself and know there's still no time signatures over here, you can still go into the track and you can set up, you know, different things. Like one of the things that people were saying, like, I don't know how to clear stuff. You still have pinch quantize, convert to progressions, and bounce the sample, bounce the audio, and all this other stuff. That was one thing that many of us missed during the whole entire beta. Some people probably knew it, some people don't. And of course, you know, you still have the arranger over here, and it looks so much better on the MPC-X. So this is a lot clearer. So if you're blind like me, or if you have something arranged, and you can also go into list mode from over here too as well. If you are trying to set things up and do any kind of weird automation or override automation or something like
Arrangements 100% is easier on the dot. I mean,
that. But yeah,
but again, it's good that you have, you know, I like that nothing was half-assed, because if you do want to just stay on the hardware and do it all the way, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful.
that's the only thing. That's the only thing that I hope will come back, and that is the ability to set up different time signatures. So let me know how you feel about this news 3.0.
Well, I don't give y'all my feelings, man. That's crazy. That's dope, man. Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment, like all that good stuff. I'm gonna see you on the next one, then I'm out.